Hey, Tony, summer is here and we've been really busy already getting into things a few weeks into summer. And why don't we talk about what we've got going on?
I agree, Corey.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another much awaited episode of Trailside Dukes. Thanks for being here with us. We appreciate you joining. We have been super busy end of spring, busy beginning of summer. I know.
We had a little pause there, but the fans are mad.
They should
They're
be
mad.
mad. They should be mad. It's our fault. We've been
Yep.
trying to take care of too many things on the home front, and then heck, like you get done with school and it's summertime, right?
Yeah.
You got to go out and play, and
Yep,
we're still kids at heart, I think.
for sure.
You know,
You got to play, Corey.
gosh, I think since one of our last episodes finished coaching high school tennis, and
Yeah.
we won. The kids won a district championship, so that
Yeah,
was
baby.
awesome. Two
Go
years in a
Vikes.
row.
Go Vikes.
And then it's like right after that, it's like graduation and Callie graduating, and then
Yeah, you had a senior.
getting into like family outings and trips and stuff with friends and things like that. So I know that's kind of what I've been up to, and we can go into some of our adventures. But
Yeah,
go
we
ahead.
could do that. I was just going to say, you went to Leavenworth.
Yeah,
times.
yeah, it was
And
fun.
our sons went on their own
They
little
went like
escapade.
2 weeks later, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah. Went over there and awesome mountain biking. Like if you've never mountain biked over there, I highly suggest it. Very fun. Just the climb is a little bit grueling because you're right there in the Cascade Range, right? So it's like, the amount of vertical feet that you're climbing could be the same as here at home at Canfield Mountain, but the distance is almost half the distance. So your climb is very much it's
Little harder.
It's tough, yeah. And so
Yep.
super awesome area to go.
Leavenworth's fun.
Very fun. Yeah, got to have some good food, good beverages, of course, there in the little German village. So
Tasty treats.
Oh, it was
is that
super fun.
Lagerville or what is a German beer? Could be anything.
They have all sorts of
Dark,
different stuff. But you
whatever.
got Icicle Brewing Company over there. You've got Blewett Brewing Company. So those are the two brewing companies. And I just did flights to try to taste different beers.
Yeah, but it
and
was fun.
stuff. Oh, super fun time. What have you been doing? I mean, you get done kind of end of June with school stuff, and
Yeah.
then boom.
Well,
you're
last
out.
week, me and friends went to Fernie, British Columbia for a mountain bike trip.
Awesome.
Yeah, super
So
fun.
how did that go?
Fernie is a cool town, and we pulled into our rental house, which was basically a 10-minute walk from the Elk River. So that was fun after a ride to bring camp chairs and go sit by the river. Everything's real casual in Fernie. I mean, gosh, people are floating that river, drift boats going by. And we were there on a Monday, you know what I mean? We got there Sunday through Wednesday. So it wasn't like a weekend kind of busyness, but town was still pretty busy. Everybody's got a bike in that town, it seems like. And
Really?
they're riding all over the place. There are like 5 different sections along Fernie that are just designated like trail systems, and pretty impressive. But kind of like what you talked about in Leavenworth, there you start going pretty vertical. You're climbing, and they're aggressive climbs. Kind of had an adventure. We had an adventure our last day because what we thought would be a 2-hour ride ended up being like almost a 5-hour ride because
Wow.
it was arduous, and we kind of didn't. You don't know the trail system, so we ended up taking a trail to get up to where we wanted to go. That was like a hiking trail. And we found out later we should have just taken the road, which would have been way easier. But
Like a fire road or something?
yeah, a fire road, right?
Okay.
But whatever, we did it, and the views were amazing. I'll have to share some views.
Yeah, we'll put them up for the YouTube channel if
Yeah.
you're viewing.
Yep.
We'll add all our pictures from
Yeah.
our outings that we've had.
Yeah, when you're living in the Northwest, Canada's so close, it's fun to take advantage of. And for me, it's extra special, because that's like the homeland.
The homeland. Is that what you
sure.
call it?
We got to watch Canada play Argentina in soccer in a cool little pub.
Okay.
Yep, and
I didn't know this.
Yeah, they were on TV. It was an exhibition game in New York at the MetLife whatever football stadium.
Oh yeah, where the
Canada
Giants
battled. There was a little bit of controversy over some refereeage, but whatever. Argentina is like freaking top 3 in the world. Canada, has a good team, and they fought 2-0. Whatever. Fun.
So awesome guys trip, it sounded
Oh
like,
my gosh.
right? I got to do
Phenomenal.
that with you. I got to get up there and do a mountain biking in Canada. I haven't.
Yep, we're going to get you on one of those.
I've skied up there, but I've never mountain biked.
Well, you're jumping in on the backpacking trip next week.
Backpacking next week. It's going to be
trip.
it's going to be fun on the Joe. I'm so excited.
Upper St. Joe, where no roads go into it. I mean, the St. Joe is good wherever, even like the lower stuff where you car camp and all that stuff. But the Upper Joe, where there's no road access and you got to hike into it, is just special. Fishing, hanging out with buddies, jumping in the river, playing bocce.
That's right. The bocce. Somebody's hiking in a bocce set.
We buried a bocce set up there that we unbury every year, and you play bocce in the woods.
I'm guessing like that's a great idea. This is high enough from the river system where it never gets like saturated or like rushed over by high water or anything.
30 feet up from the river.
And you guys know exactly where it is. It's like the buried treasure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yep.
How many years have you been going there? Because I know this will be my first time, so I don't know.
My first year was probably 02, 03, something like that. But I think Chad and Greg and some of the first people that started it, they were doing it in the late 90s, I think.
Oh my gosh.
So over 25 years.
Yeah.
And there's a core group of guys, and some guys can't make it every year. It happens.
Just throw it out there. It's like
you're jumping in this year. It's going to be awesome to have you there. I like seeing it through the lens of a first timer. There are some rituals we have to do for a first timer, by the way.
Maybe I don't need to go anymore.
Well,
I'm excited about the fly fishing.
That could take the place because I still haven't hit you with paintballs yet. So
Would
that
it
if
just
you want
could
to
be a substitution?
substitute, you know what I mean?
Okay.
We could do something there. We'll get it on video for the viewers.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about this. I am excited to fly fish though, because
oh my gosh,
I know most of these guys, most of my friends, I have not fly fished with at all, ever.
Yep.
I've never fly fished with you.
Right.
You can teach me some things. Maybe I can teach you some things. I think it's going to be super fun.
It's so fun. Like a group of guys go travel down the little goat trail down the river, and there's awesome fishing holes up and down that stretch. Super cool.
And I think that'll be it's just the way I am. I think you guys will be surprised like how much I actually fish if I'm by a river. Like I can go all day.
Well,
I'm not bragging. It's just how
there's
it's
times you consider that, right? You get up, you get up, you go fishing because your campsite is like right there at the river, right?
Yeah.
And you get up, you go fishing, and I've done it where I've taken some snacks, this and that. But you're so close to the campsite, and you can just walk up and down. And when it's lunchtime, you go have lunch. You know what I mean? Come back to your tent, have lunch, and if you want to go back out fish,
that sounds great.
Yep.
Sounds fun. It's gonna be awesome.
Yep.
What other trips do you have planned? I mean, I know you're gonna go to Helena tomorrow, but we'll talk about that in the Carol Corner coming up here in a little bit.
Maybe we should jump into the Carol Corner.
Do you want to?
I think we should.
You're done talking about your summer?
That's it. Well, this is an extension of summer. It ties into Carol Corner.
Well, let's go into the Carol Corner.
Okay. So, Carol Corner.
Yeah.
I'm going to tie it into a trip I'm leaving for tomorrow, heading to Helena and taking my fly rod, taking my mountain bike.
You are. Wow, you're doing everything. You're going to go play.
Yeah, Jack told me there's a 7-on-7 practice tomorrow night, so I'll roll into town, watch some 7-on-7. It's just going to be an awesome mix of football, mountain biking, and fishing.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, the Missouri River. Oh my gosh, Chris Pickens dialed me in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's a big fly fisherman, I hear.
Well, he's a huge fan of the Missouri River. Like
Yeah.
spring break, he's there at the end of March, like winter time still. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And fishes it. So he knows the Mo like year round, and he gave me some tidbits. I'm not sure I can share those
I
since
mean,
they're
we're pretty
from.
big. You don't want everybody just showing
Yeah,
up
I
when you're
mean,
going to
we'll
be
see. You know,
getting a
for
fly
our
wet.
regular viewers, I might throw a nugget out here and there.
Yeah.
And so we'll wait when I come back. We'll see if I'm successful.
So I know the last time I saw pictures of you on the Missouri, you were doing like you were on a paddleboard or something,
Paddleboard.
right?
Jack and
Is
I
that
paddleboarded it.
Are you plan? Is that what you're gonna
That's the
do?
plan.
That's like your way of getting around, or what?
It's not
How
a.
does this work?
It's not a like a whitewater river. It's basically just a flat body of water just going downhill, and people tube it and do all that kind
So
of stuff.
pretty
Right?
chill then.
Super chill. So to
Okay.
like to paddleboard, and you don't cast when you're standing on it, right? But you
Yeah.
can straddle it.
Right, and have your legs
You
dangling
can
in the
cast
water
while you're
there.
straddling it.
Yeah.
Or you float a little bit, you pull off to the side, and you got that whole stuff. But yeah, it's pretty amazing feeling. You know what I mean?
I have not done it from a paddleboard.
I think drift boating is phenomenal, right? But summertime, oh my gosh, I think I'd rather paddleboard it.
Stay a little
Super
wet
cool.
and stay
Oh,
cool, and then
super fun.
sit there and catch
Yeah.
fish.
Yep, so
Awesome.
fun.
Cool.
Yep. So yeah, that and the mountain biking around there is amazing, and then just hanging out with Jack and watch some football and
Got
hanging
7
with
on
his
7.
buddies.
We talked about it last time, and I'm sorry I cut you off there, but
Okay.
how's the turf going? Is the turf all in? Is it
Yeah.
all done?
Yeah,
Are they
they've
going to play the 7-on-7 on that, or is it going to be
I don't
practice
know, but
field?
they have been practicing on the field. So I probably, yeah,
Okay.
it'll be fun to see that new field, new artificial turf going. Yeah,
Everything's getting going with them. Are any of the other sports getting started for?
not yet.
No.
Soccer will start up like August 8th or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, go Saints, baby. Excited. This is kind of a fun time just leading up to when they start, call it fall camp, but they start in early August and stuff and get ready
Right.
for the season. So, and on Saturday, there is a cool poker run. They do on their Canyon Ferry Lake, which is a really cool lake just outside of Helena.
What do they do?
So it's a
People
poker
show
run.
up. It's like a.
So you show up at
An
the
event?
marina. They have a tent and stuff, and you buy your playing card, whatever, for $30, and you can buy as many cards as you want. Just means how many more. So you get on a boat, and they give you a map, and they got different locations on the lake you float to. And then a team, right? It could be the women's soccer team, the men's soccer team, softball team, the football team. They have representatives from the team at each different house with a bag full of cards. And you reach in, you pull out a card, and then they write that down on
Oh,
So
I
then
see
when
how-
you come
okay.
back, you turn it in, and the best hand wins something.
Oh, cool. That's kind of neat.
I'm never worried about like material things, Corey. So I just go for the fun.
Yeah. So is this like a booster kind of event kind of thing or something?
I've heard
or
it's one of their biggest
biggest
booster
ones.
events.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, super cool.
Cool.
I don't own a boat, but I'm just gonna float out there, and that's what I did last year. And
Do you have to have your own boat or no, or what? How does it
didn't.
work? Other
Well,
people take their own
a lot
boats?
of people that live in Helena have boats, and so
I
I
could see where
just
it could
walked
be a
around with
big-
my cooler, and somebody said, "Hey, you want to jump in with us?" And I was like, "So
I could see that happening.
rolling
I
the
could
dice.
I could see you ending up on a lot of boats with your personality
Well,
and everything. Who would
trust
want
me.
you on their boat?
people are so friendly, right? Like it's such a friendly, almost like a family of Carroll people. Like people are just like nice, and it's a super cool culture. And when you're a parent of a player and stuff, and you go out there, like I think I'll even when Jack's done football, I'll still be part of the Carroll thing. I probably won't go to every game like I have with Jack,
Yeah.
but I'm going to go to some games and go to some events like this. I mean, Helena is an awesome town, so I love going there.
I've heard you guys talk. You use the word family a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like with Carroll College, not only you but other people that we've interviewed, people that have played on the team, people that are parents of people on the team, and
Yeah.
has that family kind of atmosphere. You guys talk
Totally.
about that a lot. So
Totally.
Not getting out of the Carroll corner yet because I have things that I have observed
Okay.
over this summer.
Okay.
And I mean, I don't want you to start crying or anything, but we're going into the final year.
Yeah.
One
Jack's a senior.
one
Yeah.
more season, and we know a lot of these boys now, right, on the team that are coming back. Some of them are also in their final year, but
Yeah.
I would just like to say one of the cool things that I think I've seen this summer is, Jack and some of these guys on his team coming over and visiting in our
coming to Coeur
area,
d'Alene.
staying a weekend or whatever, hanging out
Fun.
with those guys on the dock, out on the boat.
Yeah,
and
Chris
stuff like
Colshin
that.
was in
Yeah.
town. We played some cornhole with him.
Yeah, super fun. Being around those boys, the 21st birthdays and stuff like that, and a good group of kids, fun to be around, and they're just like having a good time. One of the things I really enjoyed was we were walking when you and I were walking down with some of the parents and some of the adults. We're walking down to an establishment, and somebody with a Montana Tech shirt, one of the Montana Tech, it looked like a player.
Oh, yeah.
Was walking down the sidewalk.
Oh, I gave it to him.
You look over at him, and what'd you say?
Go Saints.
And he kind of looked back over his shoulder like, what?
Oh, he was
what was
afraid.
that?
He looked like a big football guy.
I don't know if he was afraid.
Well, I gave him the look, right? I said, "Go Saints," and he didn't say anything back.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty.
If he was
that was a fun
imbued,
moment
it'd be a
for
different
me.
story. Go Saints! She just looked. Yeah, if it was imbued, it'd be a different story. It probably would have been throwdown time. But in Coeur d'Alene, dude, whatever.
What happens on Sherman, right? Man, it's getting crazy down
I know. Well, another fun thing is one of the old linemen, I won't say names, they went into another bar, right? It's Jack's 21st birthday, and live band in there and this and that. And this teammate thought it'd be real fun to sing happy birthday to Jack, so he climbed up on the stage and grabbed
Where
the
the
mic.
band was playing.
Where the band was, and he just started singing happy birthday to Jack. Of course, they all got kicked out, but no fisticuffs or anything.
Right,
just
just good fun.
All right, we sang happy birthday. We're gonna leave. It's okay. Well, geez, he's like 6'7".
He's huge.
So you know what I mean. I don't think and he's a respectful kid. He's fun loving. So good for them. You know what I mean. Whatever. You get kicked out of a bar for singing happy birthday, and
No harm.
No harm done.
Yeah. Yeah, and they'll remember it forever.
For sure.
Creating memories, right?
Creating memories.
But it's been really cool having those guys around, seeing
thanks,
them
Corey.
in bits and pieces. But
Super
I think
cool.
it just adds to that whole, that family aspect.
For
you
sure.
got the years behind you that you've played together, and it's built up to this year.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to this season, seeing what's going to happen.
Don't make me cry, Corey.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
But big year for the Carroll Corner and the Saints, and
Go Saints.
Football and soccer and basketball will be back again. They're going to be good. So a lot of good things going on at Carroll.
For sure.
That was a long corner. Sorry.
That's okay. We
deep
like
corner.
to talk about Carroll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well-
So should we move on? Do you have? Should we talk about I'm Mad?
Well, we could. I mean, we've got baseball. We're in the middle of the Midsummer
Oh,
Classic here.
You want to throw a curveball in there?
I'd like to throw a curveball.
Maybe a
since we're gonna
slider.
Talk baseball. Well, I mean, we could talk
swerve?
about our team.
What is a swerve?
A swerve?
Yeah.
Sounds like something you get in
No,
the
announcers.
toilet.
Last
That's a swirly.
couple of years. Even I don't even know if I heard it last year, but I'm hearing it this year. It's a swerve.
Slider curve?
I guess.
Huh. I don't know.
It's a swerve.
Not sure.
I know.
How do you feel about your Blue Jays right now? Is where they're sitting and what's going on?
Last place in the American League East.
The East is a tough division.
It's totally on them. Their main guys haven't been hitting, although, Vladimir Guerrero has come on probably in the last month, and gosh, he went from an average of like 220, and now he's back in the 270s, so that's great. But Bichette, they're studs. Their offense is not doing it, and their relievers aren't great. Their starting pitching is what's gotten them to, at least decently. But honestly, when we get so much Mariners stuff here. Of course, the Mariners are in first place in the West.
We'll talk about that in a second.
One game ahead of Houston, but there's a lot of similarities between the Mariners' woes and the Blue Jays' woes. It's not enough offense. Like, what's his name? He's not having a great year. Who's their big stud?
Who on the Mariners?
Mariners.
I don't know if they have any big studs
They
because
do. I can't think of his name.
man, you talk about Trailside Dukes. These guys are the opposite. they're like they're not the Dukes of Hazzard. They're the Dukes on the side of the trail, man.
Well,
They're the opposite.
they're in the game. So
well,
we'll see what happens.
Oh man, you're gonna get me started now. You're gonna
Okay.
get me going into Iron Man.
Now you're
because the Mariners, yeah, they have a great record and everything. That's fine, but they're not getting it done. And the Astros are coming on hot, like you said.
They've come on.
Like they're only like 2 games ahead of the Astros right
Astros
now.
are good.
During the All-Star break, the All-Star game's going on like right now. It's almost over, I think. But I'm not feeling confident in them. I'll make a prediction. They barely get into the playoffs, but they're not winning the AL West.
Now we'll see.
They're not going to, because you're talking about what one of their stars, and I should be able to say his name, but he's not that big of a star. So I'm sorry that kid is not getting it done. Nobody's getting it done. They have the lowest, I think one of the lowest batting averages in the league.
Yeah.
And like you said, the pitching is what's keeping them into it. But they're losing a lot of 1-run games. But they also earlier on won a bunch of 1-run games.
Yeah.
We can't have 1-run games.
Gotta have
This
offense.
is ridiculous.
You got to score 6-7 runs a night.
Well, both of our teams are without the guy that just won the home run derby yesterday.
Teoscar.
Hernandez
Shouldn't have let him go, Toronto.
friggin' wins. He's on the friggin' Dodgers now.
Seattle, you shouldn't have let him go.
Dodgers are home run hitter. They're loaded with home run hitters, right? Dodgers and the Yankees. Teoscar is enjoying life in LA right now.
Yeah, so I know.
Like, what the heck, man? Like, what?
So is
The Mariners
Ohtani.
signed him for a 1-year deal, and
How do
then
they
they let
get
him
these
go.
guys?
I don't know.
Dodgers.
It's just
Jeez,
unbelievable.
They got money.
So yeah, I think both our teams need some hitters, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna drink the latte, right? You talk about the Mariners fans drinking lattes.
like their lattes.
It's like I'm not feeling confident about the Mariners.
So my buddy Brian, who's been on the show, went with some of his buddies to the Blue Jays Mariners series.
Blue Jays won that series
Friday,
2 out of
and
1.
he's a Mariners fan. Unbelievable. He's from Canada and a Mariners fan, but whatever.
Okay.
I know. So he got to see his Mariners win Friday, but on Saturday, the Blue Jays took 2 or 3 from the Mariners. But Brian and I did this a few years ago and went to the Blue Jays game. Ton of Blue Jays fans. He said there was even more this year. He said it was 3/4 Blue Jays fans.
Wow.
They all come down from BC. Actually, because we were driving through the border to go to that Fernie trip, and it was a big line. And we get up there, and I walked into the duty-free shop, and the lady was like, "Yeah, buses have been coming through this border crossing going to Seattle. All the
Going to the game.
all the Canadian Blue Jays fans
Wow.
in the West. That's your closest place to go see the Blue Jays play is in Seattle.
Right.
So yeah, I mean that was kind of cool for the Jays to take two or 3 from Seattle. Why not?
The way Seattle's been playing, they should have won 3.
Yeah. Well, we'll
Jeez.
see what happens.
There we go. Sorry.
Okay.
Glass is empty, half empty over here on my side. How about we talk about some of these concerts that we've been seeing this summer?
Yeah.
You went to a concert yesterday.
Went to a concert last night.
Who'd you see?
My good buddy Jim invited me
Top
to
Hat Jimmy?
Lyle Lovett and his band.
How was that?
You know,
I'm curious. We have not talked about this yet.
I'm not a big Lyle Lovett fan. I mean, I remember his hits from the 80s, and he's got this one about a pony on a Boat. It's kind of one of his more popular songs. But
That sounds like your poker run.
he had a horn section. He had
really?
Like a 3-person singer section. He had a steel guitar player.
Wow.
And he played a lot of like New Orleans kind of like jazzy stuff, and then he played some blues stuff, incorporated the horns, steel guitar player, a piano player.
Wow, big variety.
If you're just a fan of music, and my buddy Jim, huge, he plays bass for the Rhythm Dogs. He's huge into music. And the bass player, I'm sorry, Jim, I can't think of his name, but he's a legend. I guess he became famous playing with James Taylor.
Oh,
and then
okay.
he's been a huge studio bass player with this drummer who is also in the band. So the drummer and the bass player have this connection that goes 30 plus, 40 plus
Okay.
years. But the music was amazing. And so cool, fun. You know, it was at the Fox Theater, which is kind of a cool
Oh,
venue.
yeah.
I was kind of glad it wasn't
Historical.
outside because, frick, it's been 100
It's been
degrees.
hot,
Been
yeah.
hot. But that was fun. And then I went with Jack and some of the football guys to go see
Crockett.
Charlie Crockett.
Yeah. At the
Kettle
House
House.
in Montana.
If you haven't seen a concert, I know you have.
Yeah, I was just
But
there last week.
You got to go see a concert at the Kettle House outside of Missoula. Super fun.
Yeah.
Who did you see?
We went over there. We saw J.J. Gray and Blues Traveler.
Oh, awesome.
Hot night, right? But when the sun starts going down, and you're in
Cools
the
off a little.
You're in the that mountain area surrounding you, and it's just good music, and the Blackfoot River right behind the stage. Like, it's just such a cool place to watch a show. And gosh, Friday we were over in Spokane at the Spokane Pavilion, which is another cool place to watch a show. And
Very
we
cool.
saw country singer Megan Maroney, and that was kind of neat.
She's
That
not
was kind of fun.
She's not the gal that sang the National Anthem at the Homerun Derby, is she?
I have no idea.
Have you heard about this gal?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. She
Well,
was
if
in
you,
Seattle. She was in Seattle the
I
next day.
can't think of
so
her name, but
I don't know.
I guarantee a lot of our viewers will know because it's a big deal. 'Cause,
Oh, what? I don't even know
she
what
was
happened.
terrible. Like
Oh.
it's been claimed one of the worst like national anthem songs ever done on national TV.
Whoa.
And then she came out saying that she was drunk.
Well, that could be tough.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Did
no,
she?
not good. Not good.
I'm going to have to go watch this. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
Have you seen this?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Oh, there's a lot of people like poking fun at it. And,
Oh, no.
You know, kind
Yeah,
of sad
that's
because she
tough.
says she's fighting demons and she's going to go into rehab and stuff like that. So
wow.
good for her to take care of that. But
Yeah.
terrible decision making. Like holy moly, national TV, and she just butchered it. It was bad.
Darn it.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
So that'll be a good one.
Well, do you have concerts on the horizon that you're going to be going to see, or you got anything?
I know you
lined up?
do.
I've got, I've got
I
quite a
really
few.
don't because I'm going to finish this Helena trip and then the backpacking trip, and then I kind of go back to work, and then in a few weeks it'll be football season. So we're just kind of laying low.
Okay.
What about you?
I think the next one I have is Pearl Jam in Missoula.
Oof.
Yeah,
At
big Pearl
the
Jam
Grizz
show.
Washington Stadium.
Yep.
That's going to be
Yep.
amazing.
So that'll be a big one. Going with some friends to that. Oh my gosh, the price for hotels when Pearl Jam comes to town is ridiculous.
I've
know?
heard for like if there's
they're
a
all sold out.
even if there's a concert at the Kettle House, I think Missoula's just figured out. Well, we can
They can jack up their rates.
jack it up. Where else are you going to go? Although after that Charlie Crockett concert, Jack and I went on the Hit Camp.
Oh yes.
So
Tell us about your.
If you don't know about it, is it HIP?
Camp?
HIP.
Yeah,
Hip Camp.
Hipcamp.com.
I was calling it Hick
We
Camp.
don't have any sponsors or anything. So Hip Camp, if you're
Hip
listening,
Camp.
we're plugging you.
Yeah, it kind of a sweet gig. You know what I mean? It's
Kinda
kind of
like
like
a
the
VRBO.
VRBO of camping. You
Yeah.
have some property and whatever, and you put it on the Hip Camp thing, and then you go, oh shoot, $15 a night. That's pretty sweet. And shoot, it was only 5 miles away from the venue, so pretty sweet to get out of there and go into your spot and set up a tent and
Yeah.
whatever.
You and I have done this before where we stayed at somebody's, we're just kind of out from their house enough where we could have our own stuff going on, but not feel like we're intruding or anything like that. We were just out in part of this, I think they called it a berry field or something. We weren't in the berries or anything like that, but it's freaking awesome.
gosh.
We're out in these golden hills and
Super cool.
and trees
That
and
was a
stuff like
cool
that.
setup.
That was really fun.
Cool setup.
Yeah, super cheap, and you set your tent up and your camp and stuff like that. They had we had access to a restroom and
Yep.
everything we would need, right?
Yeah.
Just for a little sleepover one night, or I think you were there 2 nights if I remember right.
Yeah.
But
That was fun.
that's a funny story. After the Crockett show, I want you to continue because it is funny.
Okay.
So
if
you get done with the show and then
You go to a show, don't camp at the Kettle House parking lot, because you're going to be trapped for like an hour, if not more, after the concert.
Are you saying don't park there, or you said
park
don't camp?
there.
Okay, so
I
don't
know,
park there.
I know Chad Unthal always says from Missoula,
Take
they
the
get
bus
on a bus and
at
they
the Top
take
Hat.
it. But Jack and I, we were 5 miles away, and I was coming in hot from Coeur d'Alene. I got out of work late, and so whatever. But yeah, after the show, it's like midnight. You're dog tired, and you Google Maps where this hip camp place is, and we got there and not really well marked, right? So I'm just driving down this,
and it's pretty dark, probably.
Oh, it's dark, and so I get it. There's houses, So I was like, well, they don't want people camping right by their house, so I went a little further in and parked it. And Jack and I just said we were going to sleep in the back of the truck. And all of a sudden, these dogs started barking, and it sounded like they would come right up to the truck. So I was like, geez, Louise, couldn't sleep, dogs barking. So Jack, he could sleep through anything. So yeah, I just got in the truck and went closer to where we pulled in to come in, and thankfully when I parked there, the dogs stopped barking. But it wasn't a great night of sleep. If it would have been a perfect world, we would have got there when it was daylight before the concert. Set up, and then kind of had the lay of the land. But yeah, sometimes when you're in a rush, you just wing it.
Well, I did the venue parking last time, and when Blues Traveler was on their last song,
you left early.
Well, I'll tell you what, like I love music, right? JJ Grey had the first half. Blues Traveler had the second half.
I love both those artists.
And I think Blues Traveler has figured out that we got to stick to some of our songs that we had that were really good in the past. Like these are the
classics,
songs that the people want to hear.
Yeah.
Like, Hook,
Run Around.
But anyways, Run Around, all that stuff, right? They want to hear those ones.
Then they're mixing in some of their new stuff.
No.
They just played the classics.
They mixed in a bunch of covers.
Really?
They did like Sublime.
No way. I bet that was fun.
What I Got. That was kind of cool. So the kids knew that one.
Yeah.
They did Devil Went Down to Georgia, and he played the fiddle parts with
this harmonica.
Yeah, which
is
was
he
pretty
skinny
good.
now?
He's a lot skinnier. Yeah.
Okay. Can I just tell you, when they became big in the early '90s, there was a big outdoor concert.
Johnny Popper.
Oh yeah, John Popper. There was a big festival outside of Calgary, High River, and a big farmer's field. So me and a bunch of my buddies, we go to it, right? And huge dance where you can just walk up to the stage and stuff. So I thought, well, for fun, like I've never done a mosh pit or this and that, but I got
a mosh to Blues Traveler.
Oh, people were jumping all over the place. It was summertime. It was hot. And somehow after I got pushed around and stuff, I was pushed right up against the stage. And I remember like almost being in self-defense mode. And something was dripping on me. Like I'm looking around.
It was Johnny Popper.
Yeah, I looked up and it was him. He was singing, like kind of leaning over.
He's dripping on you?
He was big back then. And he was sweating on me. So I tore out of there. I was done. And Popper was sweating on me, and I was like, I kind of got grossed out.
Wow.
I know. Yeah, that was an adventure.
I have not had that experience with Blues Traveler. I've seen them a couple times, but I think they've figured out what they've got to do, right? And so they did a bunch of these covers. They did
that's cool.
American Girl by Tom Petty.
Oh yeah,
and
that's awesome. That would have been a great show.
So yeah, when they were finishing up their encore, which was LaGrange by ZZ Top.
Okay,
right?
Wow.
At home, I don't need to sing it to you, but
great song.
So. We headed out and we had no problem just right out of there. Yeah,
that's the thing to do.
But a lot of people left during the middle of their set because they were there for JJ Grey.
I think people know too. Yeah, if you just went for JJ Grey, then you got out of there plenty of time.
Yeah, pretty awesome though.
Fun.
So, oh gosh, sorry, I'm long-winded here. So Pearl Jam coming up in August. Then there's Lainey Wilson. We get to see Lainey Wilson with Jackson Dean and another guy from Yakima, actually, that I really enjoy.
Cool.
And so he'll be good. I've seen him before, and then I've got Goose for 2 nights back over at the
Goose.
Kettle House. So
Yep.
I got a lot of.
I know you're a big Goose
I got
fan.
a lot of Missoula
Goose is fun.
action. Yeah,
That's super cool.
Yep.
I know
So,
somebody else was saying, I think Ween is coming to
Ween's
the area.
coming to. They'll play
Pavilion
at,
or something?
They're going to play at the Pavilion. Yeah, right after they play at the Kettle House.
Yep.
So
Fun.
lots of good stuff. Lots of
I
good
agree.
shows. Lots of
Summertime's
bigger
fun.
shows than what we're talking about in our genres, but
Summertime's fun.
lots of big shows coming through Spokompton.
Yep. Oh, geez.
All right. Well, we were getting mad at when we were talking baseball, and then we got onto the concerts,
And we were happy.
And now,
we're going to
should
go
we
back,
go back
to
to
mad.
mad.
Yeah, let's go to mad.
All right. Let's do I'm Mad.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
Okay.
All right. So tell us what you're mad about this week. You got
Well,
something that's fired you
honestly,
up?
it's not. I'm mad. I'm stealing my buddy Chad's mad from when we were in Fernie.
Oh, he was mad.
Oh, he was mad.
This
He
is Murray?
This was what we thought was a 2-hour ride was going to be turned into a 5-hour ride.
That would be enough to get
And
mad.
it was very hot, right? Like, we left in the morning. Like, we probably got on the trail at 9 in the
You
morning.
had plans.
We had plans, like you can go to the river after, like
Yeah.
when it's hot and stuff. But yeah, we didn't get back to the house until like 3:00. And, we had this arduous climb. And through this one section to where we thought we were right at the top, it was so funny. There was a couple in a van, and they're like, "Hey, do you need water? Do you need water?" And I had 3/4, you know what I mean? Like I was like, I only got a little bit more of a climb, and then I'm going downhill. So I said no. Nick said no. Well, I had been riding with Chad Murray up, and I remember looking at his water bottle going, "Geez, dude, you're finished all your water
already
already."
gone.
It was already gone, and like we didn't know there'd be somebody with a van like water. I'm
You got
like,
lucky.
okay, well, whatever. So he rides by this van, and they go, "You want water?" He's like, "No." I said, "Dude, get more water." So he got more water, but our other buddy Tony was further behind, and he didn't accept their water. He should have. But anyways, by the time we still had another huge climb after that, parts where it's so steep you got to walk your bike
Oh,
up.
wow.
It's steep.
Dang.
And walking your bike up a steep climb sucks.
Was this the hiking trail, or this is a totally different day, different trail?
This was
Something else.
the trail was called Big Money.
Ooh,
And man,
we were going for some
like a lot of the area people we found out afterwards were like, "You went
guys
up
are
that
crazy."
way? Like, why wouldn't you not take the road?" So whatever. But we did the arduous way, and man, then when we got to the top, we wanted to wait for Tony, and waiting there, and then Nick kind of went ahead, but the downhill was a double black diamond, and like double black, like black
You gotta be
diamonds
on your game.
in BC, like double black diamonds mean like
It's like skiing. It's like skiing
this
in
is
BC.
crazy stuff. So
You
there were
got-
a lot of times that I got off my bike and walked some corners, and then they go like straight down, and whatever.
Wow.
Nick is more advanced of a rider. He rode a lot of that stuff, although he admitted he got off on some sections. Poor Coach Carrico did crash a few times. He crashed, I think, 3 times, which I didn't find out until later. And he told me about 3/4 down he crashed once, and then when we got down to the lower parts, he's like, "Yeah, I crashed 3 times." Poor guy, and he had no water. And at that point, when we were 3/4 down, is when I looked at Murray. I mean, we're all exhausted, tired, and Murray's like, "I just want to get the off this mountain."
Wow.
It was like, okay,
Wow.
we know it's time. He was mad. He was mad. I just want to get
He's
that
a pretty happy guy.
beep off this
so-
mountain. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So yeah, that
I wish
was,
I would have been there for that at
Oh,
least.
I had to chuckle because it was just one of those moments. Like, what are you gonna do? You're either
Yeah.
gonna laugh and keep going, or you're gonna be mad, and like that's probably not gonna help your downhill.
Right.
Yep. But he did it.
Wow.
But he was mad. Yeah.
You guys were all mad. I think that's just enough for the
Oh.
I'm mad. I don't need to go after
We couldn't
that
go to
one.
the river.
No,
We were exhausted.
I'm
We
going to
did-
save mine for next.
We did go to the pub though and watch that Canada
Oh,
soccer
there
game.
you go.
So that was fun. But,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
What are you mad about?
I'm gonna save mine. I'm gonna save mine for next episode. So if you guys are interested in what I'm mad about, I'll
gonna
tell
have to
them next
tune
time.
in.
Yeah, I think we've done.
Well, you
enough.
might
I
have
mean, there's
some
a lot of
new
mad.
I'm mads.
I
because...
could, but I'll remember. I'll
Okay.
remember. It'll be good enough.
Okay.
Well, I say we wrap this baby up and put a bow on it. If you're interested,
Dude, that's a nice coaster.
I know. This is the Trailside Dukes. I got a little bit of moisture on it because of my drink, my beverage of choice that I have tonight. But if you're interested, you can go to our website and check this out. This is the Trailside Dukes coaster for your bar. If you have a studio like we do down here in the Trailside Dukes studios, you can furnish it with some coasters or maybe some stickers or decals.
Dude,
or something.
the biking
right?
shirt. The biking shirt
mountain biking
is
season.
top on my list.
Yep, I've got the mountain biking shirt. I wore it the other
I know,
day.
I'm
You can
jealous.
get your official Trailside Dukes mountain biking jersey. It's a great addition to your collection. If you're a biker or if you just want to sport it out in the nice weather.
Dude, you could bike with that and like a thong. Just bike it up.
Well, we don't. I mean, yes, you could.
You could.
We don't have a Trailside Dukes thong. We do have the bikini.
Well,
I guess you could wear the bottoms if you wanted
No
to.
Speedo.
Nope, no Speedo. But you can always, if you're on the YouTube channel, you can definitely check out the links that are listed in the description. Those will take you to the Trailside Dukes shop, and you just look through there, grab whatever you want, and yeah, I think that's all I have for today. If you like what you're hearing, definitely share it with your friends. You can like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that jazz. And then we will see you next time. Thanks for joining us.